Good evening. I want to welcome everybody to the Technology Thursday webinar for April 2018. We are going to be talking about LinkedIn today. LinkedIn is a popular social network. It's all about professional networking. Before we get started, though, I want to give a couple announcements. We will have a Saturday training this Saturday, April 14th. It will be at the Jalagi Community Room behind the restaurant The Cherokees. It will be starting with breakfast at 8 a.m. Presentation will start at 9. We will have lunch at the restaurant The Cherokees, and the presentation will end around 3 p.m. Our presenter for Saturday will be James Johnson. Most of y'all have probably seen James before at one of our conferences, been to one of his sessions. He's going to be speaking on community engagement, getting your community involved in your mission. Just want to announce that. Our May events will be a webinar for the second Thursday of May and a training on May 22nd. This is a change from the calendar that we originally put out. May 29th is the Tuesday after Memorial Day, so we scooted it up a week to May 22nd. It will be in the OCO training room, and we're going to switch gears a little bit this time for our training for May. We are going to have um, a representative from Cherokee Nation Indian Child Welfare talking to everyone about foster care. We'll also have a Cherokee foster parent telling the story of their family and how foster care has affected their family and the need for Cherokee foster parents. So that will be May 22nd. That's a Tuesday, 10 a.m., 6 p.m. in the OCO training room. We'll be getting more information on that as it gets closer. So we're going to get started today with our webinar. Like I said, today we're going to be talking about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a popular social network. Other social networks like Facebook and Twitter focus on personal sharing. LinkedIn is all about professional networking. That is, building a group of contacts to help advance your career or advance your nonprofit. Watch this video from LinkedIn to learn more about the site.
If you've ever received an email that says join my network on LinkedIn, you've probably wondered, what is LinkedIn? A simple answer is that it's the world's largest professional network, helping people find and share opportunities every day. But how is it relevant to you? Managing your career is just one reason to join LinkedIn. As you develop your professional profile, you establish an authoritative resource on your experience and capabilities that lets people find you when they search the internet. In 2 minutes, you'll be up and running with the most important page on the web you'll ever have. Do you know what people find when they Google your name? With LinkedIn, you'll have more control over what appears in Google results, and having a robust profile encourages people to approach you with opportunities. Many of your contacts are already on LinkedIn, and you can reconnect just by uploading your address book. This lets you stay in touch even as your contacts change jobs and email addresses. Your reputation is summed up by the relationships you've developed over your career. LinkedIn helps you maintain these relationships authentically. In addition, when you want to make new business connections, you can find people using LinkedIn's search tool, then see who you know in common. This makes it easy to request an introduction from your trusted connections. You can also join a LinkedIn group where professionals in your field discuss issues and solve problems related to your industry. Link to your Twitter account to share tweets with your professional network, both from LinkedIn to Twitter and vice versa. And use LinkedIn's mobile application to stay current with your network wherever you are. These are just a few features that help you get the most out of LinkedIn. Whether you're working in an office or on the go, LinkedIn keeps you in touch with the people that matter to your career. And since signing up is free, LinkedIn just might be the best investment you'll ever make in your career.
So that's a little video from LinkedIn. And like it said, there's many reasons to use LinkedIn. More and more business people have started using LinkedIn to screen and recruit potential employees. This is why creating an account on LinkedIn could make a big difference in searching for your next job or in promoting your nonprofit. Once you've signed up, you can add information to your profile page, which is a brief summary of your skills and employment history. Kind of serves as an online resume. You can also add contacts known as connections to build your network. We got one more video here, LinkedIn tutorial. Sorry for the little bit of lag in that first video. I'm trying to record this at a time when not very many people are on the computers here at Cherokee Nation. Kind of gets slowed down and bogged down with so many people on computers. So I apologize if there's any lag in the videos. Let's watch this next video, and it's a LinkedIn tutorial.
Hey guys, I'm Bill from GCFLearnFree.org. Welcome to my office and welcome to our LinkedIn tutorial. We're glad to have you here. You know, whether you want to use LinkedIn to grow your professional network or find and apply for jobs online, this tutorial will show you everything you need to get started. We have a lot we want to cover, so let's get going.
Okay, the first step is going to be creating a LinkedIn account. And here's a video tutorial on how to create a LinkedIn account.
Creating a LinkedIn account is pretty easy. You'll just need an email address and a few minutes of your time. Let's take a look at how it works. To get started, go to www.linkedin.com in your web browser. Enter your information, choose a password, and then click the Join button. LinkedIn will guide you through the steps of adding more detail to your profile. You can also choose to sync the contacts list from your email account at this time if you like. Now, this will make it easier to find the people you already know on LinkedIn, so we do recommend you do this eventually. However, if you don't want to do it right now, you can just skip it. Next, you'll need to verify your email address. To do this, go to your inbox, look for the message from LinkedIn, and then click the confirmation button. Finally, you'll need to choose between a basic account, which is free, and a premium account, which costs a monthly subscription fee. Since you're just getting started with LinkedIn, we recommend that you go with the basic account for now. You can always upgrade to the premium account later if you want, but in our experience, you can get quite a lot out of LinkedIn with just the basic account. And that's it. Your account is set up, so you're ready to start creating your profile and adding connections.
So that's how to get started. To create a LinkedIn account, simply go to www.linkedin.com. And if you enter your basic information, LinkedIn will guide you through the process of creating a new account step by step. Here are some common LinkedIn terms: connections, endorsements, recruiters. If you're new to LinkedIn, there are a few terms that may seem a little confusing at first. Reviewing some of the most commonly used terms will give you a better understanding of how LinkedIn works. So we're going to click some of these buttons here. Your LinkedIn profile is what other people will see when they find you on LinkedIn. You can think of your profile like a resume, a place to add information about your employment history, education, and skills. LinkedIn also allows you to add things you might not include on a traditional resume, like a profile picture and a personal summary. A connection is an online contact. LinkedIn makes it easy to add new existing contacts, known as connections, to your online network. A recommendation. Once you've connected with someone on LinkedIn, you can request a recommendation from that person. This is a short paragraph that will appear on your profile. A recommendation to speak to your professional strengths and skills. A recruiter is someone who works for a company to find new employees. On LinkedIn, recruiters will post job openings and search for new candidates. Your connections can also endorse you for skills you added to your LinkedIn profile. This is an easy way for you to verify your skills. So those are some of the terms that are used on LinkedIn and how they're used. Next, we're going to go to navigating LinkedIn. We have another video here about navigating LinkedIn.
So even if you're already familiar with other social networking sites like Facebook or Twitter, you'll want to take some time to learn your way around the LinkedIn interface. Let's take a look. When you sign into LinkedIn, you'll see several different options near the top of the screen. These allow you to navigate between your home page, your profile page, the job search tool, and more. On the home page, you'll see recent updates from your connections, as well as any companies or groups that you follow. In the upper right corner, you'll find some icons that allow you to quickly navigate between your messages, notifications, and invitations. If you select the profile icon in the very top right, you can quickly change your basic settings or access more advanced settings. There's also a search bar at the top, which allows you to quickly search for anything on LinkedIn. Okay, so those are the absolute basics of navigating LinkedIn. At this point, I'd invite you to dive in, start exploring, and see everything LinkedIn has to offer.
Okay, so that's a little bit about how to navigate LinkedIn. We'll go over it just a little bit more here. If you've never used an online networking site, LinkedIn can seem a little bit intimidating at first. Even if you do have experience with Facebook and Twitter, you still need to take time to learn to use LinkedIn's features. We're going to click on some of these buttons here and see how to navigate LinkedIn. The search bar you can use to look for just about anything on LinkedIn. You can search for connections, job openings, and company pages, and more. The home tab, your home page will appear whenever you sign into LinkedIn. From here you can see recent posts and updates from your connections and the companies you follow. This is the profile tab. Your profile page is what other people will see when they find you on LinkedIn. From here you can edit your personal profile, add a photo, and more. Connections. From here you can look for other people you know on LinkedIn and add them as connections. Jobs. From here you can use the job search tool to look for job openings that have been posted by companies and recruiters on LinkedIn. These are your messages. This is your messages tab. This little thing looks like an envelope. Here you can see your recent messages on LinkedIn. Notifications. Here you can see recent notifications. Looks like a flag there. If someone views your profile page, you'll be able to see the information here. Invitations. Whenever someone adds you as a connection or accepts your request to connect, you'll see that information here. And your account settings. Here you can access your account settings and navigate to the LinkedIn Help Center and more. Creating your LinkedIn profile. Your profile is the first thing that people will see when they find you on LinkedIn. You should treat your profile as you would a resume, taking time to make sure it's complete, accurate, and professional. LinkedIn also allows you to add things that you may not see on a traditional resume, like a picture and a personal summary. So here's a little video about creating a LinkedIn profile.
Your profile is maybe the most important thing on LinkedIn. It's what other people will see when they find you on the site. You can think of your profile like a resume, a place to add your skills, education, work experience, and so on. Let's take a look at how to edit your LinkedIn profile. To edit your profile, navigate to your profile page and then select Edit. The first thing you should edit is your headline. That's the information here at the top, and it's the first thing that people will see when they visit your profile on LinkedIn, so what you have here could make a really quick impression. Next, you can edit your summary, which is basically a short description of your experience and skills, the different positions you've had over time, your education and certifications. You'll also see other categories like interests, personal details, and skills. Now, if you want to highlight something in your profile, you can just click and drag to move it to a different place. For example, if you recently graduated from school but don't have very much work experience, you might want to move the education section up on your profile. When you're finished, go back to the top and select Done Editing. Okay, so that pretty much covers the basics of editing your profile. As you can see, there are a lot of options here, and you can add as much detail as you want to each section. One other thing to note, if you're planning to apply for jobs, make sure that the information on your profile is up to date and consistent with the information on your resume. That way, an employer will be able to easily match up the info from your resume to your LinkedIn profile.
Alright, so that's how you create a profile on LinkedIn. To edit your profile, you need to navigate to your profile page and select Edit. You can add information to your headline, information at the top, along with employment history, education, skills, summary, and more. You can also click and drag to rearrange the position of each section of your profile. When you're finished, just select Done Editing. A profile picture is an important thing on LinkedIn so people can see who you are. We're going to watch this video about adding a profile picture.
A good photo is a really important part of your LinkedIn profile. Now, there are a lot of things that make a photo good, but here are some basic things to keep in mind. Make sure you upload a high-quality image, make sure you're the only person in the photo, and make sure that you're dressed appropriately for your field. Basically, make sure you're wearing what you would wear to a job interview. That could obviously vary from field to field, so just make sure it looks appropriate for you. To add or change your profile photo, go to your profile page, select Edit, and then click the photo to the left of the headline information. You can then upload a photo from your computer. Once the photo has been uploaded, you'll be able to adjust and crop it using the sizing handles. Make sure that you also take a look at the preview on the right to ensure that your photo will look good across various parts of LinkedIn. When you're done, choose Save. And that's it. Your profile photo is uploaded and you can change or edit it at any time.
To add or change your profile picture, you select Edit and select the photo icon just as the video said. You want to make sure you upload a high quality JPEG photo, make sure you're the only person in the photo, and make sure you're dressed appropriately for the career field that you are looking for. Some tips for an effective profile. Keep your profile up to date. Make sure the information on your LinkedIn profile is up to date and consistent with the details on your resume. This will make it easier for employers to match your resume and your LinkedIn profile. Add relevant skills. LinkedIn makes it easy to add skills to your profile page. Examples of skills you might add include problem solving, strong communication, and computer software. Think Microsoft Office. Your connections can even endorse you for these skills you've added to your profile. Ask for recommendations. A recommendation is a short comment written by another LinkedIn member that will appear on your profile. When seeking a recommendation, try to reach out to people who are familiar with your talents, skills, and performance in the workplace. You can also review this lesson on obtaining references from our job application tutorial about the best way to ask for a recommendation. So adding connections on LinkedIn. LinkedIn makes it easy to add new and existing contacts known as connections. To add a connection, go to Connections. A list of people you might know will appear. If you find someone you'd like to add, just select Connect. We're going to watch this little video about adding LinkedIn connections.
Adding connections is a big part of using LinkedIn, but I want to point out that this is where LinkedIn really differs from other social networks. On a site like Facebook, you might add everyone you've ever met, but doing this on LinkedIn can come off as a bit disingenuous. It can seem like you're just networking for networking's sake, rather than truly building your professional network. Before you add a connection on LinkedIn, just think to yourself, would I actually talk to this person about a job in real life? Would I ask them to recommend me to their employer? If the answer is no, you might not want to add that person as a connection. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, let's take a look at how to add connections on LinkedIn. To add new connections, select Connections at the top of the screen. A list of people that you may know will appear. If you see someone that you'd like to connect with, click Connect. A dialog box will appear. You can choose to customize the message here if you wish, and I'd highly recommend that you do this. Just sending out this default message can, again, make it seem like you're just networking for networking's sake, so try to add a personal tone here. When you're ready, click Send Invitation. You'll be able to see the total number of connections you have from your profile page. Now, some people may tell you that your LinkedIn profile is only as good as the number of connections you have. In my opinion, though, quality is much more important than quantity. I would personally rather have 50 strong connections than 200 connections with people I don't know very well. It's really about how you want to network, but just something to consider as you start adding connections on LinkedIn.
So some tips for adding connections on LinkedIn. Use your existing network. When you first create a LinkedIn profile, make sure to connect with people you already know. Try syncing your email contacts and using LinkedIn's search bar to find friends, classmates, and coworkers. Be personal. When you add a new connection, we recommend customizing the invitation message. Receiving a generic invitation can make it seem like you're networking for networking's sake. So make sure the person knows why you're looking to connect. Ask for introductions. If you're trying to connect with someone you never met, you should look and see if you have any mutual connections. If so, ask your connections for an introduction. Be polite and explain why you are requesting an introduction, and give your connection an opportunity to decline the request. Keeping up with LinkedIn. Several videos here about different ways to keep up with LinkedIn, so we'll watch the first one on using LinkedIn messages.
There are lots of ways to keep up with LinkedIn. For example, you can send private messages to any of your connections. I find this to be especially convenient because even if someone changes email addresses or switches to a new job, you'll still be able to contact them easily on LinkedIn. To access your messages, select the Messages icon near the upper right corner of the screen. Your inbox will appear. From here, you can see all your messages, create a new message, and more.
You can send private messages to anyone on LinkedIn. This is an easy way to keep up with your connections. Status updates are another way you can keep up with things going on LinkedIn. You can post to share with your connections. For example, you might post a status update about a new job or a link to an article that's relevant to your industry. So here, let's watch this video about posting a status update on LinkedIn.
Status updates are another way to share with your connections on LinkedIn. Now, unlike Facebook and Twitter, which focus on personal sharing, try to keep the things you share on LinkedIn a bit more professional. For example, if you move to a new city or start a new job, or even find an interesting article that's relevant to your field, you might share that in a status update. Do be careful not to share anything too personal, as this can come off as a bit unprofessional. To post a status update, go to the home page and type your status update in the box. Choose who you want to share with, and then select Share.
Another way to keep up with what's going on LinkedIn is LinkedIn groups. One way to make connections is to become a member of a LinkedIn group. There's more than 1 million groups on LinkedIn focusing on a range of topics.
Groups are another way to share and connect with people on LinkedIn. You can find a group for just about any industry, which makes it easy to see what other professionals in your field are doing, share thoughts and ideas, and maybe even make a new connection. To find groups on LinkedIn, click the icon to the left of the search box and then select Groups. Next, type what you're looking for and press Enter. Now, I'd recommend that you keep your search pretty general at first and narrow it down later. If you see a group that you're interested in, just click it to learn information. If you want to be a part of this group, click Join. You'll then be able to post messages to the group board, connect with other group members, and more.
Next, we're going to talk about searching for jobs on LinkedIn. LinkedIn can be a powerful tool in your next job search. For example, you can use your connections to find job openings and to ask for recommendations. Just a few videos about jobs on LinkedIn.
Because employers frequently use LinkedIn to screen and recruit potential candidates, more and more companies have started posting job openings to LinkedIn. Let's take a look at using the job search tool to look for active openings. To search for jobs on LinkedIn, select Jobs and then type what you're looking for in the search box. Any jobs matching your search criteria will appear. If you want to learn more about a job, select View. You can then use the filters on the left to narrow it down by things like company, exact position, experience level, and more. Going back to the main job search page for a second, there is one thing I'd like to point out. LinkedIn actually allows you to save several preferences about the type of job you're looking for, including the location, company size, and industry. Once you add these preferences, LinkedIn will actually be able to suggest jobs for you based on your preferences. Okay, so those are just the basics of looking for a job on LinkedIn. Now, if you're actively seeking a job, I would really recommend that you do enter those custom preferences. That way, whenever a job is posted that matches your criteria, you'll hear about it much more quickly.
LinkedIn allows employers to post job openings on the site, much like any online job board. You can search for jobs using the job search tool. Unlike other job boards, LinkedIn also gives you the opportunity to directly connect with an employer. You can also see if you have any connections in common with the hiring manager or recruiter. You can also follow companies on LinkedIn rather than waiting for job positions to appear. You can take a more active approach by reaching out to employers. LinkedIn allows you to follow different companies so that you'll be able to see the latest updates and opportunities from those employers. So here's a video about following companies on LinkedIn.
If you want to learn a little more about a company or organization, you can follow them on LinkedIn. This is a lot like following someone on Twitter or Instagram. Whenever that company posts something to their LinkedIn page, it will appear in your homepage. This is also potentially a way to meet people who work at the company, including recruiters who might be posting jobs. You can use the search box to search for companies on LinkedIn. If you see a company that you're interested in, select Follow. You'll then receive updates from that company on your homepage. You'll also be able to see other information about the company, what LinkedIn members work there, and how you might be connected. Now, there's no guarantee that following a company will actually help if you decide to apply for a job there, but it is an easy way to learn more about the company and to get a feel for their culture.
Next, we're going to talk about privacy settings and the settings on LinkedIn. There are many settings you can change on LinkedIn. To access your account options, you hover the mouse over the profile icon in the top right corner, then select Manage next to Privacy Settings. From here, you can update your password, change your email information, and so on. There are several privacy settings you'll want to consider. For example, if you're searching for a new job while you're still employed, you may want to take extra precautions to ensure that your activity isn't especially noticeable to your current employer.
As with any online service, it's important to take some time to learn about the various settings and options you have on LinkedIn. Let's take a look at some of the most important ones. To access your settings, hover the mouse over the profile icon in the top right corner and then select Manage next to Privacy and Settings. The settings page will appear. From here, you can change just about everything related to your LinkedIn account, such as your email preferences, your password, and more. However, we really want to focus in on a few specific privacy features that we think you should be aware of. If you look under Profile Privacy Controls, you'll see a setting called Turn On/Off Your Activity Broadcast. Now, by default, whenever you change something on your profile, give someone a recommendation, or follow a new company, it will appear on your connections homepage. As LinkedIn actually notes, if you don't want your present employer to know that you're searching for a job, we recommend that you turn this feature off. Other important privacy controls include select who can see your activity feed, select who can see your connections, and manage who you're blocking. Okay, so those are just some of the more important settings on LinkedIn, but I'd really recommend that you look over each of these settings carefully and choose what you're comfortable with.
We've talked a lot about LinkedIn online. Now we're going to talk about LinkedIn for mobile devices or apps. It's easy to access LinkedIn on the go with the LinkedIn app. Available for almost every current mobile device using iOS, Android, Windows Phone, or Blackberries. The videos on this lesson are Vines. Vines are no longer available. That's why we're getting a technical error here. The Vine website is no longer available. But I can tell you a little bit about navigating on a mobile app because I happen to have one right here in front of me. I have LinkedIn Mobile on my phone. It is an iPhone, and you're gonna see a lot the same when you open up. You're gonna have your your home page. Your notifications and things are going to be at the bottom of your phone screen instead of at the top. There's words that tell you what they are: home, network, messaging, notifications, and jobs. At the top left-hand corner is your profile. You can click on there to change things on your profile, to edit your profile. There's a little pencil icon that will appear beside your profile picture. That's what you need to click to edit. On the right hand side is a thing that looks like a bunch of little square boxes at the top. That is more from LinkedIn. LinkedIn Job Search, LinkedIn Learning, Sales Navigator, and Recruiter. The mobile app is pretty self-explanatory. All you got to do is download it from the App Store or the Play Store. Thanks for joining us for this LinkedIn webinar. Here's a little video. Thank you from GCF Learn Free.
Hey guys, I'm Bill, and from everyone here at GCF Learn Free, thanks so much for joining us for our LinkedIn tutorial. We really hope you enjoyed it. Now, if there's anything else you want to know about LinkedIn, please let us know. We'd be happy to try to include it in a future update to the tutorial. If you want to do even more with LinkedIn, check out our More Resources extra. There you'll find links to articles and webinars that can show you all about the advanced features of LinkedIn and give you some general networking tips as well. Okay, that's really all we have, but from everyone here at GCF Learn Free, thanks again for joining us, and we wish you the very best of luck with LinkedIn. See ya!
So that is our webinar for April, LinkedIn. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. My email is bradley-wagnon. That's BRADLEY-WAGNON at cherokee.org. If you're watching and you're from one of our Cherokee community groups and you're looking for TA credit for watching this video, please email me at that email and let me know how many people watched, what organization you're with, and something that you learned from the video in order to get TA credit. And I will make sure and forward that to Mark Parman, who will put you down for TA credit for watching our webinars. Just a couple reminders before I go. We will have a training April 14th. That's this Saturday at the Cherokee Community Room. It will be James Johnson talking about community engagement. Breakfast will start at 8. Training will start at 9, and we'll be there until about 3. We will feed you lunch at Restaurant of the Cherokees. We will have another webinar in May. This webinar will be on Pinterest, another social networking site. And then we will have a training on May 22nd. That's a Tuesday night. That will be our leadership training for May. And we will be talking about Cherokee Nation foster care. We'll have a representative from ICW and a Cherokee foster parent there to talk to you all about foster care. That will be at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. in the OCO training room, May 22nd. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. If you need to contact me by phone, my number is 918-718-5522. This has been Brad Wagnon with our Technology Thursday webinar. Well, no.